Well, happy Sunday, everyone, and welcome to the second installment of Quick Bite History Science and Technology News Brief. Here we will typically present a few breaking stories on our favorite subjects: history, science, and technology. We currently reference and leverage a cool new AI news app titled Particle News. Please visit particlenews.ai if you're interested in signing up for their app that is currently in beta. Okay, now please do check in. If you're here, check in the chat, say hello. Feel free to comment on our stories. If you see a question, if I see a question coming in, I'll do my best to address that as we go along and make this more of a conversation. Okay, let's go to our first story. Hey, Brad, what's up? Hey, Jan, thanks for joining me. Anyway, here's our first story. Chimpanzees use medical plants to heal injuries and illness. Scientists tracked two chimp communities in the Budongo Forest, Uganda, noting their use of specific plants when injured or ill. Lab tests confirm many of these plants have strong antibacterial and anti-inflammatory effects. Examples include ferns for anti-inflammatory properties, wood from the Alstonia bunae for antibacterial activity. The study highlights the potential for these plants to address antibiotic resistance bacteria and chronic inflammatory disease in humans. Conservation of these forest pharmacies is crucial for the future of medical discoveries. Moving on. Let's go to a story about Tesla. No questions. This is news, and we're going to discuss the news. Tesla to expand Giga Texas data center to over 500 megawatts. Tesla aims to increase the data center capacity from 130 megawatts to over 500 megawatts within 18 months. The expansion will support Tesla's AI hardware and NVIDIA's chips, enhancing AI capabilities. New A15 computer, 10 times more powerful than current hardware, set for release in late 2025. Tesla will spend 3 to 4 billion on NVIDIA hardware and allocate 10 billion to AI-related projects. The data center will facilitate rapid build, validation, accelerating AI development by 100 times. Sorry, we're not keeping up on our stories here. That was my bad. NASA and FEMA simulate global response to potential asteroid impact. NASA and FEMA conducted a tabletop exercise simulating large asteroid on a collision course with Earth. This doesn't sound good. The scenario involved a 72% chance of impact in 14 years, affecting major cities like Dallas and Madrid. Participants discussed the challenges, including asteroid size, composition, and coordination of international response. Options considered included waiting for more data, a flyby mission, or a detailed rendezvous mission. The exercise highlighted the importance of early international involvement. Moving on. Whoop. There we go. New research debunks Easter Island Echoside Theory, or Echoside if you prefer. Studies reveal Easter Island's population was never large enough to cause an ecological collapse. Machine learning models identify rock gardens indicating sustainable agricultural practices. Findings challenge the long-held belief of a pre-contact population crash on the island. Evidence supports that the islanders adapted well to limited resources until Europeans arrived. Critics argue the new study data may still be too limited to draw definitive conclusions. There's doubters out there. Nice hat. Thank you. I appreciate the hat comment for sure. All right, moving on to our next story. Looks like it's about Stonehenge. 15,000 celebrate summer solstice at Stonehenge amid recent vandalism. Hey, a little aside, did anybody see the PGA golf, the ending to the PGA golf today, where the same protesters that protested at Stonehenge stopped the tournament there? That was pretty funny. The security guys are tackling the guys on the green, damaging the green before they finished. It was pretty funny. English Heritage confirmed no visible damage from the protest, but warned of potential harm to rare lichens. So whatever they sprayed might have harmed the lichens. The solstice event followed rare, close access to the stones, drawing a diverse crowd from around the world. Just Stop Oil protesters were arrested for spraying orange powder paint on the ancient monument. Attendees expressed frustration over the protest, emphasizing the site's historical and cultural significance. The event was live streamed to over 200,000 viewers, highlighting global interest in the solstice celebrations. Thrift store find turns out to be 2,000-year-old Maya vase. Dozier, it must be somebody that got the vase, initially thought the vase was a modern tourist trinket. She realized its significance during a visit to Mexico's National Museum of Anthropology. The vase was authenticated by Mexican authorities and identified as a Mayan classical period vase. Dozier returned the vase to Mexico in a ceremony at the Mexican Cultural Institute in Washington, D.C. The artifact will be studied further and may be displayed in the museum. Moving on. Cassini data reveals seasonal energy imbalance on Saturn. That sounds like a big problem, huh? Saturn's energy output varies significantly with its elliptical orbit. Seasonal energy imbalances drive planet-wide storms. Cassini's data shows Saturn's heat emission changes with the seasons. Study suggests similar imbalances could exist on other gas giants. The findings offer new insights into planetary formation and evolution. What is this guy? All right. New study challenges dinosaur origin of Griffin myth. The theory that griffins were inspired by Protoceratops fossils has been widely accepted for over 30 years. University of Portsmouth, must be in England, paleontologists reevaluated fossil records and historical sources. No gold has been found near Protoceratops fossil sites, contradicting the gold prospector connection. I don't know what that means. Griffin's art geographic spread does not align with the proposed fossil origin story. Experts argue griffins are more likely imaginative combinations of living animals. Well, I think we knew that to begin with, didn't we? Pretty sure we did. SpaceX launches SES's powerful Astra 1P satellite. Astra 1P was launched on SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket from Cape Canaveral. The satellite will occupy the 19.2 degrees east orbital position. It will provide high-definition TV content to households in Germany, France, and Spain. The launch marks the 320th successful landing of SpaceX orbital class rocket. Astro 1P is expected to begin service in January after completing health checks. So if you live in Germany, France, and Spain, look for better TV, I guess, is the moral to the story. Here we go, more dinosaurs. New crocodile-like reptile species discovered in Brazil. The fossils include complete skull, vertebrae, pelvis, and limb bones. Parvosuous. Oh, I better practice this one. Parvosuous areoli is the first. I'm not even going to try it. Gracilophysid species found. I needed to practice that one. Found in Brazil. The species lived alongside larger predators in complex ecosystems. These kind of critters are rare, with only 3 other species known globally. The discovery highlights the diversity of pseudosushians before dinosaurs dominated. So these guys were actually the ones that were around before the dinosaurs. There you go. Learn something every day on Quick Bite History. Astronomers observe supermassive black hole activation in real time. Now that sounds a little spooky. Scientists use multiple observatories to track the galaxy's increasing luminosity across various wavelengths. The event marks the first time a supermassive black hole's transition to active state has been observed directly. Researchers propose the brightening is likely due to the black hole consuming surrounding gases, though other explanations are considered. The phenomenon offers a unique opportunity to study the triggers and mechanisms behind black hole activation. Ongoing observations aim to determine if the event is a tidal disruption or a new form of galactical behavior. All sounds very technical. Moving on. The old mysterious monolith. The mysterious monolith removed from the Las Vegas desert again. I don't know if you remember, they found one of these out near Lake Powell last time, I think. The 6-foot monolith was discovered near Goss Peak in the Desert National Wildlife Refuge. The structure was made of reflective sheet metal secured with rebar and concrete. Authorities removed the monolith to prevent environmental damage and public safety risk. So what were they worried about with this thing for environmental damage? They've got those 3 giant solar concentrating towers out near Vegas. It's like, I would say those are environmentally damaging versus this thing. Similar monoliths have appeared globally since 2020, sparking widespread intrigue and speculation. The monolith is being held at undisclosed location while authorities decide its fate. Next up, magnetic winds drive growth of supermassive black holes. Astronomers observed magnetic winds around black holes in galaxy ESO 320-GO30 using ALMA in Chile. These winds lift and remove some matter, slowing the accretion disk's rotation, allowing more matter to fall in. The discovery challenges previous assumptions about how black holes feed and grow. Researchers aim to determine if this phenomenon is common in other galaxies with supermassive black holes. The study offers insights into the role of magnetic forces in galaxy and black hole evolution. All right, we're learning some science here tonight. And if you weren't scared by those things, Asteroid Opus poses no threat to Earth in 2029, studies confirm. Well, I certainly trust all the government studies. New studies confirm there is almost zero chance of asteroid Apophis hitting Earth in 2029, even considering previously accounted factors. Apophis, a 1,100-foot wide asteroid, will pass Earth at a distance less than 1/10 the distance to the moon and posing no threat. The possibility of Apophis being deflected by a collision with another asteroid has been evaluated and deemed highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. Scientists plan to closely observe Apophis during its 2029 flyby, I bet, to study potential changes in its trajectory or structure. Good idea. Despite no immediate threat, astronomers remain vigilant, continuing to monitor Apophis and other potentially hazardous asteroids. Well, that sounds like a good idea. And I guess that's my last story of the evening. Anyway, I don't know how you guys like the experiment. Looks like I've got all friends here. So I'm curious whether anybody liked or didn't like it. Obviously, the goal is to get it to be a bit interactive later. And yeah, it's a bit like Alex Jones, I suppose. But the idea is to have stories from history, stories from science, and stories from technology. Hey, Brenda. Good to see you. Brenda's in the house. Anyway, I don't know. Could you guys take another 10 minutes of that? Could we do like a half-hour show? Would that be a good thing, or a little less? Would it be better to do like 15-minute shows and only do about 10 stories? That was 14 stories, in case you were wondering. So anyway, I don't know if anybody's got any input. Trump will nuke it. Nuking it is a possibility. Although, so what I've heard, the way to get rid of the asteroids is to actually, what do? You put another object in orbit right next to it, and you run the thrusters real slow or something, and it just over time, the effect of the other object changes the trajectory of the. You don't even hit it. It sounds very strange. You're welcome, Brenda. Thank you for being interested. 10 stories you think would be best. So that'd be about a 15-minute show typically. And to be honest, to put together a live one of these is like 10 times easier than the other deals. Although I'm still going to do. So Wednesday nights will still be Fun with History, and it'll be the robot speed painting for the most part. Maybe we'll do a quiz here and there. So that'll always be on Wednesday nights. And then ideally, if I have time, I'd like to do these on Sunday evening. And then I might even do the shorter version. Like if we only do 10 stories, I might do that a couple times a week, and it might be a little random at first. And again, the idea is for me to practice all this more and more, and maybe with the goal of a different channel or something, and doing short news things as a way to get more interaction in a channel, more views. So anyway, again, I appreciate your input. I appreciate you tolerating me and watching the news, and obviously I'm going to keep working on it, and we'll get slicker and slicker with the shows, and hopefully I will find a way to make it a little more interactive. There is a little delay, unfortunately, on the chat feature, and so it's a little hard for it to be super interactive. It works a little better for people to chat amongst themselves, and then to come back to comments when I finish a story. Like come back and see if anybody's made a comment, and then comment on that because it's a little bit time delayed on the chat feature. But anyway, okay, we're gonna wrap it up. Happy Sunday, everybody! Lots of good golf today. Hopefully, everybody watched the golf. It was interesting for sure. and take it easy. And with that, good night.